And next in line, we have a very eminent and special personality. I would like to invite the next speaker to deliver a keynote address. Dr. Virginia Akiate, Director, Commission on Higher Education, Philippines. She's a very accomplished person. Among her accomplishments, such as being awarded as the most outstanding Chief Education Program Specialist by the Gawad Media Research Evaluation Society, Manila, back in 2006. She has had 35 glorious and fruitful years as a public servant, earning her an award of excellence given by the Commissioner of Higher Education during its 2016 anniversary celebrations. She had received countless commendations and awards from different organizations, which includes the coveted Model Working Mother of the Year in 1989 from DSWD. She's also a consistent academic awardee as valedictorian, first honorable mention, Writer of the Year, gold medalist and UNICEF Usage Scholar as an International College Women Scholarship recipient at St. Louis University, Philippines. And lately, she has also received the Thang Law Award from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Thang Law Award symbolizes the achievement of a true academician. After a bachelor's degree, she continued her own education, receiving a master's degree in education and a doctoral degree, majoring in educational management. Right? With all these accomplishments and many more, let me welcome Dr. Virginia Akiate to take the floor to deliver her keynote address. Doctor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, our dear Master of Ceremonies, Sir Colanday. Yes. To God be the glory. I'm enormously elated to be speaking amidst 25 member countries with intelligent and committed leaders in education, business, and industry. But before anything, I would like to express my very sincerest gratitude and recognition to the following persons who made this activity possible. To our dear Dr. Somasundaram Narayanan, the founder of GenuineIN Technologies and the chairman for this international conference on talent ecosystem 2022. Dr. Arosa Pavavimal, the advisor to the Minister of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Innovation, Thailand. Our GLD Wickramasinghe, Director General of Colombo Plan Staff College and APCC President from Sri Lanka. To Professor Sampath Amaratongi, the Chairman, University Grants Commission, Sri Lanka. Sir Anshul Sonak, Global Director, Digital Readiness Program. And of course, to my friend, Dr. Angelica of MAAP Philippines, to Dr. Angelica Bailon of MAAP Philippines, who made me know about this activity. Fellow educators and participants from the 25 member countries, including those who I invited from the Philippines, from the Philippine College of Aeronautics, from the West Philippine University of the very beautiful, the #1 most beautiful island in the world, Palawan, from Manuel L. Quezon University, and of course, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. my friends, educators, and other participants. A very warm day to all of us. I would like to keynote on graduates' employability and talent development, the role of higher education. Employability, as defined by Jim Helage and Emma Pollard, refers to a person's capability of gaining initial employment, maintaining employment, and obtaining new employment if required. Many scholars have given various definitions to employability since parameters change from time to time, from region to region, based on the prevailing situations. Though the definitions are varying, the common factor is integrating employability in higher education. Thus, this conference is very relevant for us to look into its importance and possibilities. As your theme denotes, a new frontier in the global talent landscape. Let it be noted also that the role of higher education is changing in response to increasing focus on creating knowledge societies, as was cited by Smith, Bell, Bennett, McAlpine in 2018. Higher education institutions are now expected to not only train future academicians, but also increase employability of higher education graduates. This has essentially resulted in a shift from the societal aspect of higher education to the economic aspect, with an emphasis on enhancing skills and competencies of higher education graduates. This change in the overall goals and focus of higher education has been a gradual process, mostly in response to political and economic forces. In our research, it says there that 58% of employers worldwide believe that graduates are not adequately prepared for work as they lack basic competency skills, communication and other skills like adaptability, developmental, group skills, and influencing skills. That is why, my dear friends, many plans and programs were proposed to fill this gap. The Commonwealth of Learning, or well known as COL, is an intergovernmental organization worldwide working for the improvement of education and learning in the Commonwealth countries, has proposed four-phase model to integrate the employability of graduates in higher education. This model helps universities to implement a comprehensive system to improve the employability of our students. 1, employability for nation building. The employable graduates are the background or the backbone rather of the economy. Therefore, improving the employability of students in higher education should be the utmost priority of any country to achieve growth and development. The government should frame the policies and guidelines for enhancing the employability by integrating it with the education system. In the Philippines, the Commission on Higher Education has technical members coming from the academy, from the industry, and from the experts of particular programs or course offerings, to carve the guidelines for our higher education institutions. This is also done by leveraging with our employers, corporates, or others with higher education participation. Thus, educational institutions can also develop their own policies and curriculum to prepare the students according to the job market requirements, and also as embodied in their institutional vision, mission, and goals of this particular institution, college, or university. The government should assist both educational institutions and employers to come together to build a holistic employability plan or framework. Another concept is raising the ranks of educational institutions. The increased number of students getting placed through school recruitment or recruitment drive or other ways is an added benefit to the educational institutions. It will increase their enrollment as well as the ranking of the institutions. Employability is one criteria for the QS ranking or for the world ranking of institutions, higher education institutions. Having a plan to improve employability would help achieve this objective of being in the rankings. The Commonwealth of Learning model talks about the stepwise plan to integrate employability in the university education. Institutional level assessment and setting up a task force is the first step. According to the model, this will be implemented in a cyclical and continuous process. So the syllabus and the curriculum can be designed or redesigned based on the government guidelines, following a comprehensive assessment and consultation with the industry and employers. Another concept of this model is a better future for our students. Whatever the definition we utter as the outcome of education, the ultimate individual goal is getting employment. A student enrolling at a higher education institution aims to gain a good job soon after he or she finishes the course. Many students take loans, it may be bank loans, to pursue their education, expecting that they would have a decent job in return. In the Philippines, we offer study now, pay later plans for poor but deserving students. But if the institution cannot nurture them, if the institutions cannot nurture the graduates with market demand skills, these graduates would struggle to get into jobs, and they might not even grow professionally. This is also the reason for underemployment and unemployment, which may not only be true in the Philippines, but worldwide. Integrating employability in education is helpful for the students to acquire the job-ready skills beforehand and excel in the new workplace starting from day one. For this, they have to force the institutions to add skills, enhancing employability. The students should take such skills or talent development programs seriously and take part in various assessment and testings as part of the programs to know their strengths and weaknesses. Thus, they can enhance themselves in order to get a good offer, as well as maintaining that employment or go for a better job in the future. Another concept of this model is the natural flow talents directly from the campuses. Employers have to spend a lot on sourcing, selection, assessing, hiring, and training the new talents in order to fully conduct in the organization. This cost can be reduced if the employers or the corporate or the government is involved in employability programs in higher education institutions. In the Philippines, there are some universities who offer programs or courses to support their businesses, and they prescribe additional subjects or trainings which they think would enhance their employees' competencies and trainings into the job, instead of them spending so much for orientation and trainings later. Okay? So that is why also before, when the Bachelor of Science in Nursing was really booming, there are some schools who would just offer nursing. But when it was already oversubscribed and we have a lot of unemployed nurses, we have to stop giving permits to the opening of nursing schools. But this time, we are again reconsidering it because of what happened during this pandemic. There are need of more nurses. Okay? So these are some of the outcomes from integrating employability in higher education. This can be accomplished only with a synergetic effort of all stakeholders and all of us. With consistent skill assessment and trainings, we can succeed. Now, how then can we in the universities and the colleges prepare the students for tomorrow's labor and market? Here are some suggestions which, according to Mael Lavinant, in 2021, said it could make a difference today. One is we have to make our course offerings workforce relevant. To do so, we have to connect disciplines to tackle real world problems. We have to reimagine the traditional university degrees to teach skills employers are looking for. Or we can even base from the 17 sustainable development goals from the World Health Organization, which is also a great reference to connect to your curriculum to the world's greatest challenges and give more meaning to higher education degrees. Okay? So then we need to prioritize skills that are hard to find. According to the Connected Student Report from the Salesforce.com, 58% of institutions are offering more course offerings on digital skill sets, but only 11% of the students feel they get a good value from these digital skills that their university teaches. And beyond the concept of soft and hard skills, universities really need to teach durable skills, which would include, but not limited to, global citizenship skills, because education is now borderless. Work now is already borderless. We are in a borderless society. Technology skills, and more so, the interpersonal skills. The Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development for Job Interactive Table is also a good tool to gauge what kind of skills, knowledge, and abilities are in the high demand in your own country. Yes, for instance, it was said, and we read that in the internet, that sales and marketing skills were in excess in the United Kingdom, but hard to find in Spain. See? So such information could help career advisors to do better guide for students who are looking to find workplace opportunities that would match their degrees. Once we have equipped our students with skills that make them highly marketable, we can now leverage technology to connect them with the employers. Yes, as I have said, in the Philippines, we have to see what really is oversubscribed and undersubscribed. And we have to focus more on the hard to find jobs. Okay? So, two, provide a dedicated portal to jumpstart careers. Like, most students ask for connections, no? According to the Connected Student Report again of this Salesforce.com, nearly 1 in 3 students say that having more virtual connections to employers would get them ahead in the job world. True. One way to bring students and employers closer together is a dedicated online portal, providing students with the tools and support to develop their skills, prepare for their job search, and connect with potential employers in one place is now a game changer. So, before, the Philippines usually hear people saying, when you get into the job, it is because of whom you know, not what you know. But this time, if it is in the portal, then there is no human touch. No, it's no longer, but it is already what you know, not whom you know, because your credentials would speak for itself. Okay. So in Barcelona's website, the Chemical Institute of Sarria, or the Institute Chemic de Sarria, has accelerated their student employability by doing this. And most of us, I know, have already their portals. No? You have to build a portal to enable students to browse and to apply to job opportunities and to follow their progress with intelligent notifications. We give them hope by updating what happened regarding the progress of their employment. Do not let them be stressed by thinking on whether they were taken or not. No? So companies can directly post their job offers and even manage its application from the same portal. Similarly, the Lion Business School, which is ranked as 36 in the world and second also in France, and also belongs to the top 20 in business schools in Europe, is another institution that created a bridge. No, they earlier created a bridge between student dreams and the labor market, while boasting their career services productivity with an online portal, okay, built in Salesforce. You can see that in the internet. Their career center sits at the crossroad between learning and careers, allowing students to quickly get their internship and tutors to review internship experiences in a very automated way. Okay? So the third one in these strategies is double down on lifelong learning. We have to admit that the shelf life of skills is reducing significantly. Yes, as the fourth industrial revolution now transforms our entire economy. Today, a skilled person has an average life of 5 years. The skill that a person learns has an average life of 5 years. The foundation for young Australians, as taken from my internet report, estimates that a 15-year-old today will experience a portfolio career, potentially having 17 different jobs over 5 careers in their lifetime. The lifelong learning revolution is pushing institutions to implement new business models. So according to Martin Bean He's the Vice Chancellor of the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, which is the largest university in the United Kingdom. No? He said that the lifelong learning revolution feeds into a much more flexible and responsive way of developing and delivering program structures, from micro-credentials to online delivery or industry partners. Great changes are really happening across this education sector. So, you know, this is also true. Before, in the Philippines, we usually bring our students to the industry partners, to their companies for training, for immersion. Now, there is now a closer relationship between the academe and the industry. And the industry experts are now being invited as resource persons or as lecturers in universities and colleges. No? Do not just bring your students unattended in companies or in industries, but rather invite first the industry partners or experts so that with them, they will go together to the company for immersion. Okay, so no matter the degree, okay, the graduates hold, individuals across the world want to have thriving careers, especially now, no? Lifestyle is changing, the choices of our children are changing, and they do not stick to one course. The majority of graduates today will continue their learning journey by stacking up new credentials on top of their degrees. That is why it is not so important that higher educations are building lifelong relationships with their alumni. Well, it is so important, I should say, that higher education institutions should establish stronger lifelong relationships with their alumni. Some institutions nourish their alumni relationships by offering elective courses each year for life. So they come back and they support also the school. They become students forever or provide a digital space to your alumni to stay in the know for career opportunities. So it definitely takes a whole lot to improve graduate employability. By investing in these areas strategically, universities can support their students to make the most of their career, not only right after graduation, but throughout their life. Thank you. Good morning, and may God keep us safe. Good health and mabuhay. Thank you po.
Thank you, Doctor, for that excellent keynote address.